Okay, so for the next video, one of the other things that I thought was cool was the information specifically aligned to the North Carolina standards. So there's two options. You can view this as aggregate data for your whole class or by individual students. So let's start with aggregate data for the class. So if you'll go to Reports, Class, and North Carolina Standards. Okay, I'm just going to go to, let's see here. I go to looking for McKay because I've been using all of her stuff lately. So in this case, so like here's the North Carolina standard, right? All about inferences. Um, so okay, sorry, that was just telling me about that, how each kid performed on that. But if you look at this green check, you look at the key up here, tells you that the student likely understands they've done well enough on this particular standard or the questions aligned to this standard that we're doing okay. But in this case, there's only one kid that would be aligned in that category, whereas almost the rest of the class probably still needs work on this. So in this grade out check, that means they kind of partially understand the standard, but you probably wouldn't want to cycle it back in. Or the X, they don't have sufficient knowledge. So again, if I'm thinking about units of instruction, it's pretty clear that aside from, what is this one? 4.4 on some phonetic stuff. And then down here, again, doing some word recognition and some context. I'm breaking some words down. We've got a little bit going on there. But for the most part, I mean, our data is telling us that we got some work to do based on these standards. I would think this one would be really key at the mid-year point, especially on things that you know you've taught. So if I know I've taught inferences and I'm still sitting at 16 kids with an X, I got to cycle that back. So just an FYI. And if you want to see that for an individual student, instead of going to class, you would go to student and then North Carolina standards. Same thing, okay? Okay, and I'll show you one more.